Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan with the Chart Guys, trader and technical analyst, and in this video we're going to check in on the broader markets after the weak bounce attempt the last couple of days. The bears followed through, confirming the bear flags in the broader market. We're going to check in on the weakness out there and what has to happen for things to turn around. Bears gaining confidence in 3-month long-term lower highs. So as far as the long term, as I mentioned, 3-month lower high is set on SPY. NASDAQ trying to follow through as well. And again, this was one of the scenarios we were watching. Is it a monthly cup and handle, or is it a 3-month equilibrium? And every new lower low that we hit on this consolidation increases the probability of the longer term tightening range. I'm going to do a live stream early next week, a public live stream on the morning covering for Lori's pregame, and it will be a long-term pattern theme outlook stream. Probably Monday, 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So keep an eye out for that. So in the short term, we saw the weakness on the bounce. There were red flags in the sense that SPY broke the high of Monday with no follow through. As soon as we broke the low of yesterday, today, that significantly, if you're talking a probability needle, just instantly goes high probability that's a bear flag, because that's a very quick lower high being set, and we're not far above that low at all. And so SPY hits a new multi-month low. The next support level I'm looking at is 413.22. And then we're looking down towards 406.93. New short-term resistance will be 424.82. From a daily chart perspective, the simple statement will be bears have absolute control as long as that level is resistance. And as far as the falling wedge that we were keeping an eye on the NASDAQ, after hours is a little bit of a bump, but not much at all. And we're on the verge of negating this. It was key for Amazon and Apple to hold their weekly supports for this to try and shape up as a falling wedge. You know, I had it drawn like this. And if we're green tomorrow, I'll put it like that. But on the verge of negating this. And again, you look at Amazon. Amazon dropped to the weekly lower low. And Amazon has now set another 3-month lower high. So now that's Netflix, Tesla, and Amazon that have done it. Question is Google joining? Is Meta joining? And we're going to get those answers in the coming couple of months. But we're watching for it, as the lower high has always been the most likely scenario on these names, and they are trying to shape up. So Meta after hours earnings reaction is a non-event right now. And we are, we're within the range of the day. Anytime an earnings reaction is within the regular trading hours range of that day, nothing's going on. So I wouldn't call it bullish or bearish. I would say it's a non-event at this point. And so we do have a daily downtrend following through. And the key weekly support will be 286.79. And again, what has my interest is the fact that Meta confirmed a monthly bull flag with 0 follow through. And so we're watching for the bears to try and take over from here, because oftentimes flags that don't follow through signal reversals. Tesla, daily lower high set 222. And now we're looking back down at the recent low of 202. We could say all things considered, bulls held on well, but it's still a weak daily chart. And there was a lot of volatility this morning, just whipsaw back and forth action before finally rolling over and the bears taking over. Ended up being a nice rising wedge here into that weakness. And so again, bigger picture, I'm scouting a Tesla 3-month higher low compared to 101 as the most likely scenario. But on such a long-term time frame, that could take months to play out, and we would need to see a weekly uptrend confirming as the first baby step towards a 3-month higher low being set. So right now, I'm just sticking with the daily downtrend as our guide. And simple statement, if 222 is resistance, the bulls are not proving a thing. NVDA, daily lower high set. Again, this is a key one. If we drop down and break 400, it's going to be another big point in the bear column. After hours, we're weak, reacting on somebody's earnings. I'm not sure who. Maybe IBM or somebody else. I don't know. I don't care. The bears are in full control today. Just a waterfall drop on the hourly. Today was the kind of day where bear rotation was taking place. I talk about bull rotation a lot. What was the bear rotation today? The NASDAQ would be dropping and the financial sector would bounce a bit, and then the NASDAQ would put in a temporary bottom and see a weak bounce, and the financial sector would drop to a lower low. And so that bear rotation was going on and keeping things really weak. It was the kind of day where, we could say, or I could say, I'm not looking long today. And we didn't quite have all major sectors hitting lows together that make it a glaring signal, but there was enough weakness. You look at the QQQ chart here, just again, imagine you're a bear. At what point did a bear have anything to worry about on this chart? And the answer is at no point. Here we had a little bull break with zero follow through. That's a rising wedge for a 15-minute lower high. Again, we broke resistance by 16 cents right into consolidation. If that's going to be a meaningful bounce, you can firm a 5-minute uptrend and keep that uptrend going until the high of the day test. But it was just a 15-minute lower high, rejecting right off EMA 12, confluence of signals there. Was the 2-minute RSI getting overbought? I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. Nope, didn't quite get there. And so, again, just the kind of day where it's full bear control, and try again tomorrow, bulls, because today is not your day. As far as the NASDAQ, the next support level, I'm looking at 347.20 and 345.54 as the next levels. And again, not going to forget that a monthly high or low is the most likely scenario. But we're not sitting here on a daily basis saying, is this the monthly high or low? Is this the monthly high or low? We're just reminding ourselves that we're going to form a monthly high or low unless everything collapses from here. And that's a possibility, but a small probability. Because again, we can drop 15% and still form a monthly high or low. The key will be, is it a big enough pullback for the bears to then confirm a monthly downtrend, just like they did on the weekly? Big enough pullback for the bears to confirm the weekly downtrend. Does the same thing happen on the monthly? So again, I'm not looking for the monthly high or low today or tomorrow. I'm just reminding myself that the most likely scenario as these trends and time frames continue to interact with each other is that we will form a monthly high or low into a bounce, and then we'll gauge whether it's going to set a lower high or not. Financial sector trying to build a base of support, pretty much 3 days doing the same thing. So support is 31.97. We held it by 4 pennies today. Resistance 32.37. We rejected by 5 pennies today. If we get a bounce going, it's just scouting a daily lower high, but just sideways trading and fending off further weakness, but bulls are not proving anything at this point. IWM with another leg down. Again, IWM is seeing some major red flags. And we had this year-plus long equilibrium break bear, and we're on the verge. We're 3% away from a 3-month downtrend. And how many times has IWM confirmed a 3-month downtrend in its history? The answer is not often. So then what? If we confirm that with a break of 159, the low of last year, I'm then going to go to the yearly time frame, and I'm going to be watching, EMA 12 on the yearly, and I'm going to scout a yearly high or low. But again, it's all bear control on IWM. One of the weakest sectors. We know the biotech sector is a part of that. ARKK growth names a part of that. Just daily downtrend continuation. Bounce lower high, bounce lower high. AI had relative strength. So this is a great example of relative strength and weakness. When did the relative strength show up? When we double bottomed by 2 pennies or 6 pennies. Relative strength for 2 days from that point. Today was very weak. Why did the relative weakness show up? Well, we double topped by a penny. And so the only hope for the bulls here is a 4-hour inverse head and shoulders, but I'm not holding my breath for that with the weakness in the broader market right now. We would need a green day tomorrow for that to be a possibility. Again, holding well comparative to other things, but that only lasts so long. Again, the analogy is swimming against the current. I can swim against the river. I can swim upriver for a while, and then I get tired, and then I go with the current. Crypto names, nice bear trades today. A lot of relative weakness. And again, I made the point on the crypto stream. Bitcoin right now is 10% over the summer highs, and these stocks are nowhere near their summer highs. Why? Because they are correlating to IWM and growth, and that has been dropping for 3 months straight since July. And so coin is down, 35% or whatever. Some of these other names, MARA, Riot, down 50%. So the trade I took today, my focus was shorting MARA, and it was just as Bitcoin broke 35,000, just shorting it. And it took a couple flips. I shorted it here and then covered a little bit and then short it and cover a little bit and then ride some into the afternoon. But it was just knowing, number one, the broader market's extremely weak. Number two, Bitcoin is struggling at 35,000. Bears are defending it. And so, and also bull breaks, no follow through. So new high of the day into consolidation, new high of the day into consolidation. And again, just, Riot was a rising wedge here as well. Just rolling over. That was a good one. See a lot of people dogging trend lines, angled trend lines. And I get why they're overused, especially by newer traders. But man, these wedges, when they align with the longer term time frame, most likely scenario, wedges are great. Dollar, very strong. Again, when you confirm the first daily downtrend in months and you go to a V-shaped bounce, bull flag. This is a weekly bull flag still shaping up. There's no weakness whatsoever in the dollar. The 10-year is trying to set a daily high or low. Probably did. Yep. So new benchmark level. If 480 is support, the bulls have complete control. Only hope for the bears at this point is a rising wedge. And again, I'm not holding my breath or looking for that to be likely. It's not even a good one. Nah, I'm not even looking for it. Just use the daily uptrend as our guide. And so with that, gold holding on well still. The hourly back burner marked the daily high or low. First hourly oversold conditions, daily high or low set. And now it's just a question of, can we confirm the daily bull flag, or is it a 12-hour tightening range shaping up? So again, overall, the gold bulls are pleased with where we stand, but they're looking at the dollar and saying, that's not what we want to be seeing right now. Silver is weaker than gold, trying to hold daily EMA 12. Going to be watching for a potential weekly inverse head and shoulders, but only if the dollar weakens from the strength currently. Oil trying to get a bounce going. Bulls will have to confirm a 4-hour uptrend. Then we're going to scout a daily lower high. The next check mark for the bears is confirming the daily downtrend to try and eventually confirm a weekly downtrend. Energy did not bounce nearly as much as oil. It's got a ton of space for that lower high still that we're going to be keeping an eye out for. And I talked about the uranium rising wedge. Again, earnings are 4 days from now. Bulls held on enough where I'm not watching this pattern anymore. There's just not enough time for it to develop. In natural gas, daily bounce underway. Again, bulls want as much follow through as possible before we top out. And then we have to try and confirm the daily uptrend if this weekly higher low is going to have conviction behind it. Cannabis stocks still falling apart. They're part of the growth story that are very weak right now. So overall, we set the weekly lower highs. The bears followed through. Bulls defended some support in the short term. They ended up being bear flags. And so now we're looking to Amazon, Apple earnings still to come, but bears are gaining confidence overall. And again, we just have to keep in mind that, we're not oversold anywhere. NASDAQ is not close to daily oversold. The 4-hour is just getting there. But overall, just remind yourselves that we can definitely keep dropping and just use that daily downtrend as our guide. That weak bounce gave us a new benchmark level. And we can say the bears don't have anything to worry about on the daily charts as long as daily lower highs keep forming. And now it's just a question of how ugly can they make it. If we're green tomorrow, I will still watch this falling wedge. But again, when you get days like today, you only trade bearish. And, I made one tiny bottom fish attempt for a bounce. It was the kind of thing where I risked 5% of my MARA short profits because I knew the NASDAQ was getting real beat up, looking for an hourly bounce and, risking 5% of profits on the day. That's fine. But the last thing you want to be doing is fighting this kind of momentum. And again, the bulls will show us when they're shaping up or showing up and when it's time to be looking in the other direction again. But this has been a big win for the bears the past couple of weeks to affirm that they do still have control of weekly and daily trends. Remember, 2 weeks ago, we started the week with monthly uptrend, weekly downtrend, daily uptrend, hourly downtrend. And right now, it's a monthly uptrend, weekly, daily, hourly downtrend. So the bears have solidified things a bit in the short term. I hope you're well. Do good things. We'll see you soon. Still lots coming out of the garden. Eggplant, kale, collard greens, peppers, green onions, potatoes, garlic, onion.